I hope you're seeing that even though that we're virtual, we can learn things about ourselves, connect with each other, and engage with each other in a positive way. It's something that I've learned over the past 4 to 6 months during this pandemic time, that even though we're apart, we can still connect together and we can still be a community together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you all so you can see a little bit of where I'm coming from when it comes to community and my definition of community. Um, and this is all adapted from Leadership Incorporated, which I also work for. It's a nonprofit that does leadership institutes for colleges and universities across the country. And their whole mission is to create a just, caring, thriving world with a healthy disregard for the impossible while living and leading with integrity. And that's a mouthful, and it's amazing. Everything they value, I value. I live and breathe them. So why not give the definition of community from a leadership perspective? Because it really is my perspective. Community is a group of individuals who have learned how to communicate honestly with each other, whose relationships go deeper than their masks of composure, and for me, most importantly, are able to function with a collective energy greater than the sum of their individual energies. Meaning that together we can do so much more than if we were alone doing something. And then positive characteristics of a community: open and honest communication, inclusion, safety, solitude and interdependency, conflict, self-examination and self-regulation, vulnerability, commitment to hang in despite differences, and spirit. Typically, I would ask like if anything surprises you on this list, but for timing, I will say that a lot of people will hit on vulnerability. Although I would say that when you're sharing of yourself, it's catchy. Other people are going to share of themselves. And when we're vulnerable together, we can accomplish so much together. The other thing is conflict. What's that, Dave?
That's my favorite one on the list.
Which one?
Vulnerability.
Vulnerability. And a lot of times I have a tough time even pronouncing vulnerability. But yeah, like, no, it's my favorite one as well. A lot of people will say conflict as well, and commitment to hang in despite differences. Some of the best communities I've been a part of are the ones that have differences of opinion that we can argue a little bit, but we respect each other's differences. And because of that, even after our discussion, we can go out and have lunch afterwards. And that's what it means to be a part of a community, knowing that differences are assets and not barriers, that they can drive your visions forward. The other piece is a lot of people will be like solitude and interdependency. I think as leaders, we always have to take time to take a step back and really think about what we're going to do. And sometimes that means going solo for a little while, taking a walk and really thinking about what we have to do. And I think 95% of the time you can do that. So any other ones that you thought like that was a huge surprise on there? All right, well, I'm going to stop sharing that screen. But with all of that being said, I want you to feel like you're a part of a huge community and what it means to be a part of a community, especially a positive one. And what I'm going to have you do is I want you to separate, let me see here. Yes, I'm going to break you out into 4 different breakout rooms. And there are going to be 2 to 3 in each of the breakout rooms. And I'm going to give you 3 minutes to plan the best party you can plan. Okay, and these are the rules. Okay, when you're in your breakout rooms, obviously introduce each other. And then what I want you to do is say, someone's going to start off and say, hey, let's plan a party. And then the second person is going to say yes, and they're going to finish the statement of what they want at the party. And then the next person is going to say yes, and complete the statement too. So if I were playing with Melissa Beecher over here, I would say, hey, Melissa, let's plan a party.
Yes, and let's order burritos.
Yes, and I would like 1,000 balloons at my party.
Yes, and I want 12 trampolines.
I love that. Other people are shaking their head, but you get the gist of it. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes, and I believe there'll be a 1-minute countdown when you're going to be coming back in, so you can go into speed mode into what your parties are going to be. But I'm going to send you out, right?
We are back. We're going to have the best party ever.
I hope so. I hope so.
Didn't get to find out what they were.
So we're all back. And
Yes.
are they good parties?
Oh
Good
yeah.
party.
The
Oh, the
best.
best.
So just I'm gonna like some ESP right now. How many of you had celebrities at your party?
Oh no.
No celebrities. My ESP is so bad right now. Like, it's
I mean,
terrible.
if you count Minnie and Mickey Mouse, then yes.
Well, then there you go. How about
We had
this?
a
How
really
about
good,
this?
we had a really good stand-up comic who was not Eric O'Shea.
That's what I
His
said
words.
that. And
Oh,
a
I
big
noticed,
bottle
I
of-
noticed that the only 3-person group was all male. I was like, how did that happen randomly? So,
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder what that party is and how it might be different from the rest of ours then.
that's so true. So beyond my ESP, that's really bad. What does anybody want to give highlights of their party? Eric, Maitland.
Megan and I worked together, and while we of course had a lot of food, I thought one of the coolest things that we had was going to be a squirt gun and water balloon fight.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
Heck yeah.
Especially in the heat.
Melissa and I are going to have a petting zoo and hand sanitizer. And it's going to be at Disney World. So get excited.
Way to be responsible at this party.
Mhm.
Dave and Kyle, should you or do you want to say?
We let's see, we had unicycles, we had sparklers, vinyl records. There's also we ran the gamut at our party.
Cards, bocce ball, bottle of Advil for after.
Yeah.
phone back.
Cocktails.
We
A
had
videographer and
Right.
a van to take us to other parties.
right, Dave?
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. You can tell we're getting older when someone includes Advil. So, yeah, there you
It's
go.
a party favor.
Yeah. Very nice.
Right. Where's the mute?
And I believe that, is there one more group?
Yeah, Mary and I, our party is going to be at the beach with a campfire and s'mores, and everybody that we've ever met is invited for a dance party and a sleepover, and with vegan tacos.
Good,
Yeah.
Chris.
All right.
Everybody that we've
Fun.
never met, but we still like.
Yes.
Yes. Okay,
Only
good
the
caveat.
children are allowed.
All right. So I'm going to have you do a second round of this, and I know some of you know about this. A second round of this, and you're going to be in the same rooms, same breakout rooms, and you're going to start the same way. Hey, let's plan a party. Now, the second person and the third person and so on, instead of saying yes and, you're going to say yes but. So yes but, yes but, yes but. And I'm only going to give you about a minute or so to do that, mainly because you'll see. All right. So I'm sending you back into your rooms. You're back first again.
Yeah.
We're efficient.
You're
Yeah.
efficient. You're
Yes.
totally fit. Was that
Yes.
enough time? Was that enough time?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because you get the.
Yeah. You get the feel of it. I just didn't want to cut you short. That's all. So, all right. So that second round, not that I'm asking you, you don't need to name names or tell me what's happening in that party, but was there a different feel to that second round?
I'm not sure
Yeah.
we actually planned a party. It just
No?
brought up really traumatic memories and ended very sad. Very sad.
Sad.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. Anybody else would like to comment?
It was harder to think of a little at times because we were being negative about stuff in a way, but I'm excited to find out why we did this.
Sure. So yeah, so a lot of people would, some people would actually say that it was like an argument that second round.
Yeah.
Anybody
Yeah.
feel that way? A couple of people, but most people would say that it was more like they were stagnant. They couldn't get past the status quo. And in fact, in some cases, you were moving backwards. Like you couldn't really move forward.
Mhm.
And that's what most people will say. So my next question is, was the first round fun?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So tell me,
Yeah.
why was the first round fun? Anybody?
Because you were able to build off of it instead of focus. Like I felt the second round, we were then focusing so much on one thing instead of adding to it. If
Mhm.
you were then saying, well, instead, or variation. So that's why
Yeah.
the first round was really fun.
So you were really building off of each other. Any other comments?
I think also we were taking a really cool thing and trying to make it cooler. Like, yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to outcool you and make this an even better party.
So you were feeling like you were with it. You were in
Yeah.
the conversation, right?
Yeah.
Right.
The first round is like you're complementing the thought process, where the
Mhm.
second you're contradicting the thought process. Like
Sure.
it's not building, it's like you're having to like find loopholes or find the cracks in someone's saying, and it was just, yeah, negative is the right word.
Yeah. And here you are talking to this person you don't really know and shooting them down with everything they say.
Right.
Yeah, but that's
Oh yeah,
wrong.
but I don't really think that'll work.
The first one felt limitless, and the second one felt so limiting.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, the possibilities were endless.
I still had a bottle of Advil there too. So.
Yeah, but would really go with an Advil. So yeah, so like you were building off of each other. So there are a lot of things that you just said there. Number one, you were building off of each other. Number two, you were part of the conversation. And number three, the possibilities were endless. So when that actually happens, like, isn't that what we want for all of our communities? The possibilities are endless. You build off of each other. And then most importantly, you're being listened to, that you're part of the conversation. There are so many times that you go to a person that's in charge or that's facilitating and you have a problem with them. And even if they didn't solve the problem, if you were listened to, you're sticking around and you're going like, I'll go back to that person. But if you weren't listened to, usually that's when you jet from a community.
Mhm.
And I think the most important thing with a community is really bringing the people in, even if those opinions are different. Like, so like, are we going to have a petting zoo and be on the beach? I don't know. Maybe. It's just that we can get that idea involved in the discussion. So that way you feel like you are listened to and you feel like you are a part of something. Because the most important thing is feeling like you're a part of something bigger than yourselves. So when you're a part of a community, and I'm sure the communities that we choose to be a part of, we choose them because we feel like we're a part of something bigger, you know, something bigger than ourselves, and that we feel like we belong. I can tell you that professionally, I was kind of wavering from group to group to group in student affairs. And I remember being a part of a professional planning team as a part of the National Association for Campus Activities, or NACA or NACA. And I felt like I was just a part of that group. They just brought me in and they took my ideas and we were all complimenting each other. And I was like, I never want to leave this group. This is so much fun. That's what we should want all the time. They should be yes and statements, because the but statement just gets in the way. It just gets in the way. And you could
Be a
still
but.
disagree, but still be listened to.
Yeah.
Any comments from there?
That's great. I mean, you really, that makes the point very, very well. And it's absolutely how groups play out. And you can start thinking of people that you've worked with who lead with yes, but. And
Oh, yeah.
that how quickly that can just fizzle a team.
Yeah, so if we
right,
were,
you stop wanting to bring ideas. You're like, well,
Right.
I'll just stay here quietly and wait for the
Right.
meeting to end. Yeah.
Yeah.
so if we
Dave,
were going on in a meeting right now, I would probably say keep your minds open,
Mhm.
keep those yes ands coming, and try to stay away from that negativity that will block you from moving forward. But I cut somebody off. Was somebody going to say something?
I was going to say, Dave, I think you hit it right on, especially with what everyone's going through. Just tolerance. We just need tolerance with each other. I mean, there's debates on every single thing you turn on the news on TV, and it's just out of hand. So I think if we're just tolerant with each other and just listen instead of talking and pointing fingers, but you hit it right on the head. It was a great exercise.